And then at some point he told me, Stevie, I thought that's it. And he would drown there. Today I would like to talk about the topic acceptance and letting go of something or someone. And I would like to share a story with you of one of my friends who had a pretty tough experience a few years ago when he jumped into a river, just in the river that runs through Bern. You know, I live very close to Bern in Switzerland, and we have a beautiful river running through the town, and it's a long tradition actually here with the Swiss and especially the Bernese people to swim in that river, especially in summertime, of course. Some do it even in winter, but it's pretty cold, to be honest. Anyways, so in the Swiss, they swim in that river. They take the rubber boats and do a long tour actually on the river in summertime. So it's I've done it on a stand-up paddle as well. So that's big fun, definitely. But it can also be pretty dangerous when you, for example, when you get, let's say, caught by one of these vortexes. So the water, it just pulls you down actually on the ground of the river. And yeah, every year there are, of course, also some accidents happening. And anyways, my friend Neil, he told me that story. What happened was that after work he just wanted to go for a quick swim in the Aare. So he jumped into the water and he got into one of these vortexes. So what happened? He was like in a drill, and the water pulled him down more and more. And of course he was panicking, and he was fighting. Yeah, so he fought with his arms, his legs, and wanted to get up to the surface again. But he didn't manage. And the more he fought, the worse it was. So the more he actually went down on the ground. And then at some point he told me, Stevie, I thought that's it. And he would drown there. And so what did he do? He let go. He didn't fight anymore. His arms, his legs, he just let go. And then something really extraordinary actually happened. Suddenly he told me he was like drifting for a few meters underneath the water, underneath the surface. And then suddenly, as if someone was pulling him up again, he was just more or less lift up towards the surface again, and he managed to get out of the river again safely. And he told me this story and what happened afterwards, and he was still a little bit under shock. It had a big impact on him, and we had a discussion about this also, and on this, and I think we both said there are some really interesting learnings that we can take away for our life actually from this story, for sports, when we are an athlete, for business, when we are in the business world, or for our private life. And the thing is, it's about letting go. It's about accepting. And from my own experience, I don't know how this is for you, but from my experience personally and my experience as a mental coach in my praxis, this is probably one of the most challenging topics actually that we are facing from time to time in life. So letting go, bringing acceptance in, and as an example, I remember a few years ago, so that was when I was still working as an employee, so that was roughly almost 20 years ago. I remember I applied for a job with a big company, and I had an interview with a manager, and it went really well. And he told me, it was super direct, and he told me after the interview, he said, listen, I think I would have something very good for you, and I have a good feeling with you, and I would like to offer this job to you. And I was completely overwhelmed, because that was exactly what I was looking for. So I went home, and we arranged that we would telephone a few days later. And then what happened? The financial crisis happened just in these days. It must have been in 2008, and so I didn't hear anything from him for a few days. So I thought, okay, I better call him and see what the situation is. And then, he didn't tell me directly, but he just said, listen, we have some changes going on internally, and I don't know yet what's going to happen, but I'm positive, but you just need to be a bit patient. I said, okay, no problem. So 1, 2, 3 weeks later, I thought, this is going pretty long now. So I called him up once again. So I called him once again, and he still couldn't give me any feedback. And this went on for weeks and months and months. And I was in a situation where I was more or less stuck. I felt stuck. I had the feeling I was completely helpless. I didn't have any influence on the situation, because all that I could have done or was able to do was to have a good interview, and then get the okay from the other side, and then move on, get the contract, sign the contract, and then start the new position. But this didn't happen. And in the end, actually, it never happened, because the company decided there was like a freeze on hiring people. So what did I learn from that actually? It's similar to what Neil learned from his experience in the river, in the Are. It was that if I see that I don't have any influence on a situation or a person, I can let go. So next time I ask myself, do I have any influence on this specific situation or on this relationship? If yes, then I need to take action. If no, okay, then it's the question, so why should I actually fight then? Maybe against something or someone. Am I still fighting for something, or do I have to admit I don't have any influence anymore on the situation or the person? I'm feeling helpless. Then I would suggest to you what I've had to learn over the years, and I'm still a learner actually. I improve, but I'm still not an expert. And I would recommend to you, maybe you would like to also try this out. If you are in a difficult situation and you feel a bit stuck, ask yourself, can I influence the situation? If yes, take action. If you answer that question with no, I don't have any influence anymore from now on, then let go. Accept and shift your focus on something or someone where you have influence, where you can take action. So don't waste your energy Don't waste your time, don't waste your money. Don't waste anything on a situation where you notice that you can't influence it anymore. Compare this also with the situation maybe in sports. If an athlete, maybe if you had an accident or an injury, and you know exactly, the doctors, they told you you need to do some recap now. You need to do some physio. You need to be patient, and you will probably need another maybe 4 months, 6 months before you can actually do what you love, your sports. And this, I mean, everyone has been an athlete or is an athlete knows this situation. That's really awful. It's horrible, because there's nothing more that an athlete wants to do than his sport, of course. That's what he loves doing. And so this is a difficult situation, but we need to accept again. We need to let go, and instead, what's the thing I can focus now on? What's the thing I can influence? So this could be that I have a good plan for my recovery, so that I can maybe even accelerate my recovery, and that I can come back even earlier, not in 4 months or 6 months, maybe it's 3 months. So who can help me? Work also on your mindset, so have a positive mindset. Don't be stuck, and don't think back also what happened. Oh, I should have done this, or I could have done that, and then it wouldn't have happened, and so on and so forth. Forget about that. It's over. Situation, it is as it is, and all we can do now is to accept and to let go. And please let me know in the comments now below, are there situations where you're struggling with acceptance or to let go? Share with me and the others, what situations are these, and how did you manage actually maybe to let go or to accept? I'd be very interested in hearing your story. If you like this content today, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in one of my next videos. Thank you for watching, and see you soon. Bye.